Welcome to Sportsman of Colorado, Colorado's premier outdoor radio show, heard every Saturday afternoon on KLZ560, with insights on hunting, fishing, archery, guns, and ammo from Colorado's top outfitters, featuring the industry's leading experts on how to enhance your experience in the great outdoors. Now, here's your host, Scott Whatley.
Welcome to Sportsman of Colorado. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, it's great to have you with us. Just a quick reminder now, you miss our live show on Saturdays, which is 1 to 2. You can catch us twice on Sundays, and that's 8 to 9 a.m., 8 to 9 p.m., and then the following Thursday, that will be 9 to 10 a.m., of course, right here on KLZ560. You can catch our podcast anywhere you catch yours, and, of course, at sportsmanofcolorado.com. Well, we're super excited to announce a new partnership. It's always great to get introduced to a new group of folks, and we're going to introduce to you today LT Arms. They are located at 8119 Schaefer. Is that Schaefer Street?
Schaefer Parkway.
Schaefer Parkway, all right. That's Kyle, the owner. I needed his information here. All right, so Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. Their number is 720-727-0400. And, again, this is a great store. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them every month here on Sportsman of Colorado. And I'll go around the room here, and we're actually coming to you from the world headquarters here at 8119 Schaefer Parkway of LT Arms. But Kyle Willie, the owner, which I'm so glad he knew his address. He's with us. How are you, bud?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
All right. And we've also got Brandon Anderson.
Hey, nice to be here.
Brandon, thanks for being with us. And Evan Lee. So
yes,
Evan,
sir.
Good to see you. All right. All right. Let's start out with Kyle. Let's talk about owning a gun shop, man. Every guy's dream. I'd love to own a gun shop. Let's find out a little bit of your past and your background of what got you into this? What have you done in your life kind of with businesses, and what led you down this path?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, like you said, every guy's dream is to own a gun shop. Everyone wants the coolest, funnest guns out there. But the biggest, thing with why I wanted to start a gun shop was just I felt like there was so much missing here in the Colorado market for hunting that I wanted a good, high-quality hunting gun shop to go to. Where the staff is knowledgeable on all the stuff that is revolved around hunting, and also they can help you from start to finish on anything you need to get the hunt that you want.
Yeah, that is I go into stores too. That is kind of a weakness with some shops, and most shops, right? From the hunting side, sometimes I walk in. I think we talked about this the other day, but you walk in and man, guys look like they're ready to go to combat. They got more pistols and magazines all around their belt. And I'm like, are you guys guarding this place or are we selling stuff, But it is great. And, man, when I first came in, and I had heard of the store, but just being honest, I'd never been by. And just like you probably never listened to Sportsman of Colorado, so we're even. All right? But, man, walking in and just seeing the store, first of all, it was really shocking how kind of big it is in here and what all you've got. You're kind of in this commercial kind of location here, so it's a little bit different to when you pull up. But man, when you come in, you have no doubt you're in a gun store. So was that your mission too, to kind of carry? I mean, I see some military things, some black guns here, and you're hunting, you got handguns, and
yeah. I mean, my main goal was to be a one-stop shop for everything hunting and outdoorsy, but also having the historical aspect. I tried to get the guys in the shop that are very well versed in everything. So anywhere from old World War II history to modern day ARs. We can, work on or, tell you the history behind whatever it is that you bring in.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Brandon, tell us a little bit about you, sir.
I started working here about 10 months ago. I came from the bike industry. I used to work at Woodward Cyclery, and, about 10 months ago, I started talking to Evan. He was saying we needed a marketing guy down at the shop, and so he kind of threw it out there to Kyle, and then we ended up going for a nice lunch at Sushi Den and did an on-the-fly interview, and I came in last June.
Cool. Are you hunting? Are you in the hunting as well, or are you mainly just like
Yeah, I've been I've go elk hunting. We went on a shop bison hunt the beginning of this year.
Cool.
We got a couple, so we got a lot of meat in the freezer for that. I went shooting when I was younger, but I hadn't really been into it in a while, and then I had started working with Evan over at the bike shop, and he offered to take me to the range, and one gun turned into a safe full of guns. And
Trust me, I know how that works.
Totally, yeah. I thought I was going to get, like 2 or 3 and I'd be good. And yeah, it grows into a way bigger of a hobby than that. I like, guns and guitars and everything that drives my wife crazy and costs a lot of money. So
I think we're all good at that. That's a guy thing. Once again, if you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from LT Arms, 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. And once again, their number 720-727-0400. And Kyle, before we get, let's run through your hours that you're open during the week.
Yeah, so the hours we're open is Monday through Friday is 10 to 7. And then Saturday we're open 10 to 4. Try to accommodate, hours for people between their work hours and stuff like that.
All right, great. All right, last guy in the room, Evan, the elder guy, right?
Yeah, resident old guy.
The old guy. All right, Evan, tell us a little about you, sir.
I've been into the hunting and shooting and fishing world since I was a kid, and then hand loading really became a big passion for me. Tuning rifles and loads and that kind of thing. And I'd been a customer at Kyle's for some time. It was a little shop, and we got to be friendly. Bought a few rifles from him and that kind of thing. And then when he moved over here and got the bigger location, I noticed there was a dearth of reloading equipment. I said, "What are we doing here? We need the reloading stuff." And so I pitched the idea for reloading classes and helping manage that aspect, and that's become a nice part of our business.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I came in a couple of times, and Erica, a friend of ours, which we'll be getting on, is helping them with some marketing as well. And Erica actually made the introduction. So thank you, Erica, if you're listening. But Evan was kind of doing some videos on some ammo, and I was like, wow, that guy knows his stuff, And here's what I think it's aggravating. You guys have probably been in stores where you go in and you ask a question, and I'd rather a person say, I have no idea, than making up something. Okay?
Absolutely.
And that's fine. I mean, we can't know everything. But, man, it's disappointing when you want to know something like, what's the difference between this gun and this gun? And they start reading the tag. Like, dude, I can read. I need you to know.
Yeah.
But I think that's what gives customers a great comfort of coming into the store here, is because of the knowledge here, right? You agree?
Absolutely, I agree. I characterize this, you say, well, you work at a gun shop. Well, yeah, we are a retail gun shop. We're also a full-service gunsmithing operation with 5 craftsman-level gentlemen back there who know what they're doing. We can do everything from building you a new custom rifle to restoring Granddad's 19th century shotgun. The wealth of knowledge and expertise in each little facet of each personality around here covers a lot of ground, and it is really nice. It does lend to credibility, and it gives the customer confidence as well, because we're not going to tell you we don't know, but if we don't know, we're going to go find out.
Sure. So, reloading, and I'll just be honest, I've never gotten into that, man. I don't know if I'm smart enough to do that. I don't want to blow something up. But first of all, there for a while, I know a lot of reloading things were hard to even get your hands on. Supplies and different things like that. So let's talk about that first. Are things more readily available for reloaders now?
It's loosening up, but prices have gone stratospheric. It used to be you could get 1,000 primers for $35. Now they're $100. A pound of powder used to be $35. Now it's $80 or $90. So it's been tough, but availability is coming back. Prices are not coming down.
Right. We'll do a segment sometime on reloading, because I think that's a very interesting deal, but I do want to ask you a couple of questions about it. So if somebody says, I think I want to get into that, what are some good things you would say, hey, look, you need to ask yourself these 3 questions before you do this? Because I would assume the machinery and all the different things aren't inexpensive.
No, they're not inexpensive. I mean, you can get into the game for less than $1,000 for a good single stage press and some dies and that kind of thing. I always recommend the number one thing and the first thing you should buy is a reloading manual. And read it, and then read it again, and then buy another one and read that one too, and that'll let you know if that's something you're willing to pursue. It's a little bit fastidious, a little bit meticulous, but once you get it down, it's not really all that difficult to do. It's just paying attention to detail, understanding that burn rates of powders and things aren't interchangeable. Just really sticking to the data, picking the bullet manufacturer you want to go with, and then going with their published data is the best, safest way to start. that kind of thing.
What are some of the easy mistakes, top 2 or 3 easy mistakes to make when you're reloading?
Mixing up powders is the biggest, baddest one for sure. Understanding bullet diameter, understanding head space and how much you're bumping back the shoulder on a case, and how head space works with a brass cartridge in the chamber of the gun. Mm-hmm. Understanding head space is a really important thing when you're starting to resize brass.
All right, Kyle. Let's kind of walk through the shop, and what can people expect when they come in?
Yeah, so I mean, here at the shop, when your first-time person that comes in, I mean, we'll always try and greet people when they come in, but I try to tell people that we're a one-stop shop for everything hunting. If you need your gun cleaned or whatever, hunting season just ended, we can do a complete once-over of your firearm, make sure it's still in working condition before you throw it in the safe. Or if you just got done hunting, threw it in the soft case, and you realize, oh shoot, it's all rusted. Mm-hmm. We can fix that as well. So full service gunsmith. And then as far as our showroom, we have everything under the sun any other shop would have, but we also have the expertise to go behind the product that we have. We can tell you about it, give you all the ins and outs, the pros and cons of different calibers and stuff like that. And then also we have an in-house taxidermy. So as far as being a true one-stop shop for everything hunting, from your first firearms purchase to taking care of your kill, we can have you taken care of under one roof.
Right. We were laughing the other day when I was here. I was like, dude, just get a little part where we got a cooler and some processing. You got it all covered. Hey, all right? I mean, we had a one-stop shop for sure. And that is one thing with our guns. And I think, a lot of guys are great at, taking guns apart and cleaning there all the time. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, one of my guys told me one time, he goes, Scott, this does come apart for cleaning, and but it is something that, and I think too, even, it's a lot of times in between hunting season. Sometimes if you got a lot of guns, it's maybe several months when you may use that gun again. Hey, get it out, check it, make sure it's good, and if it's not, bring it by here and let your guys take a look at it.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing. The summertime is a great time to look at your firearms and make sure they're in working condition, because it's the worst right before hunting season when you open up your safe and you find out that your gun's not in working condition. Then we have a rush fee.
Yeah, absolutely. You're listening to Sportsman of Colorado. Once again, if you're just joining us, we are coming to you live from the world headquarters of LT Arms, 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7. Correct? All right. And Saturday, 10 to 4. And, again, they've got a gunsmith here. They've got our good buddy Keith, Hunter T's Taxidermy here. And if you haven't been over to the shop, highly recommend you come over. And when you do, let them know you heard about it here on Sportsman of Colorado. And we'd appreciate that as well. Tell you what, we're going to hit our first break, and we'll be back with more from the guys at LT Arms right after this.
Here's why you need personal injury attorney Kevin Flesh on your side. He understands the way the jury thinks. In the context of a personal injury case, you've been hurt by someone else's negligence. The idea is that you're going to try to recover so that you can get back to where you were just prior to that incident occurring. What that really means from a jurist's perspective is that you're going to be asking them to award you money. So when we talk about fairness, we're talking about 6 people that you don't know. Those 6 people view the evidence and make a unanimous decision that will decide what the fair value is. When you're the one who's hurt, you have a good idea of what you think it's worth. The question is, can you persuade those other individuals whom you don't know and were witnesses to believe that's what the case is worth? Kevin Flesh understands the way the jury thinks. Call now for a free consultation, 303-806-8886.
If you've ever had a massage, you know how good it can make you feel. At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, you can now give that same wonderful feeling to your dog. Hey, this is Scott Whatley, and whether your dog is recovering from an injury or surgery, has mobility problems from muscle soreness or arthritis, or just needs a calming touch for relaxation, therapeutic massage can work wonders at helping your dog feel better. Provided by a licensed certified canine massage therapist with over 6 years of experience at helping dogs of all ages and breeds, your dog can now experience the many benefits that therapeutic massage provides. Massage sessions are usually 30 minutes long and available on Wednesdays by appointment. Why not give your dog the gift of massage? Call 303-708-8050 and schedule your pet's appointment today. That's 303-708-8050. Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center. It's the place where my pet goes.
If you're in the market for a new rifle for the big game season, or a new shotgun for some doves or upland game birds, head on over to the Gun Room. Kevin Flesh here from Sportsman of Colorado, inviting you to visit Denver's oldest gun dealer, and that's the Gun Room at 1595 Carr Street in Lakewood. They offer buy, trade, consignment, transfers, and appraisals. And if you purchase a gun, we'll cover your background check fee. It's the Gun Room, 1595 Carr Street. Tell them Sportsman of Colorado sent you.
Attention hunters and anglers looking for top-notch hunting, fishing, and camping gear without breaking the bank? The Outdoorsman's Attic in Sheridan has you covered. They're a family-owned consignment store packed with quality new and used outdoor gear at unbeatable prices. From clothing to cots, live bait to lanterns, and that hard-to-find ammo. Find it all at 2650 West Hampden in Sheridan. Got gear to sell? Turn it into cash with their hassle-free consignment. Gear up, save big, and adventure more at the Outdoorsman's Attic, where the great outdoors meets great deals. Visit them today at 2650 West Hampden.
You're listening to 560 KLZ, your home station.
We are back. You are listening to Sportsman of Colorado, and again, we thank you for being with us today. If you're just getting in the car, turn on the radio. LT Arms, 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. And we've got the owner, Kyle Willey, with us. We've got Evan Lee and Brandon Anderson. So, Kyle, you know, a lot of shops, they kind of just have a shop. They just sell guns and stuff. But you, again, you wanted to do more. So you got a lot we're going to talk about here and just some of the other services you offer. So I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest things I wanted to touch on was education. I feel like our industry really lacks and struggles with that, because the more informed the individual is, the better off they're going to be in, you know, the day activities of firearms. So one of the things that we try to touch on is, you know, we offer an hour with the gunsmith class, and that's anywhere from, you know, you have Grad and Dad's gun that you just inherited and you wanted to know a little bit more about it. You can come in, spend an hour with the gunsmith. They'll walk you through it, you know, teach you how to maintain it, properly care for it, and also how to use it. That's one of the biggest things, and that way you don't have the problem of realizing you have a gun in your house that you have no clue how to use. That's when bad things happen. And so having that hour with the gunsmith makes it super beneficial to where we can educate customers on their own firearms.
Sure.
And then we also have the AR build class. And one of the great things about the AR build class is people always want to build their own firearm, build their own gun, stuff like that, but they don't know where to start. And so that's one of the nice things that we do is we'll have a full, you know, one-on-one build session with you. Everything from the consultation on, you know, what you want in your firearm, all the way to the final bolt going in to where you can finally shoot your gun. And so that's one of the cool things we do there.
And those are held here?
Yep, those are held here at our location. And you work with our gunsmiths. They're very personable, friendly, good guys to deal with. And, you know, it's a fun environment here.
Mm-hmm. Now, how would they find out, like, when classes are happening? Is that on a website, or they just need to call you? Or?
Yeah, so people can always go to our website. It's ltarms.com, an easy website to remember. But, I mean, for the hour with the gunsmith and the AR build class, we kind of hold those at the customer's discretion. Whenever works best for them, we try to work it into their schedule so that we can be accommodating for whatever they need. That's kind of the main goal about this shop. If you come in here, you'll realize we're very customer-oriented. Mm-hmm. The whole thing in our background is revolved around the customer. We try to accommodate them the best that we can.
Right. Have you guys noticed, a little round table question, I guess, but have you guys noticed more in the last few years, first-time gun buyers? A little more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that a minute.
The amount of first-time gun owners just since 2020 has been staggering. I mean, and the sales figures that you get from National Shooting Sports Foundation supports that, and a large percentage of that is first-time female firearms owners, which is great to have Erica and Amanda here too. That's really going to help us with that segment of the demographic.
Right. Now, here's something. We got a lot going on in legislation. At the time we're recording this, we're not sure how things are going to turn out from the governor's office with that. But first of all, I want to say I'm all for training. Okay, I mean, 100%. Some of the things they're pushing are a little extreme, but I am all for training. I think that should be done at a range and different things like that. So I don't know who would like to address maybe some of the classes.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as training aspects and all that, I mean, you hit it on the head. Everyone here is all for training. The more educated the individual is, the safer they'll be with a firearm. That's the biggest problem, is uneducated people are creating big mistakes with firearms. It is a deadly weapon if used negligently or maliciously. I mean, it's just given. But as far as training purposes, we offer, training courses. We have, firearm self-defense, CCWs, all that. We partnered with another law enforcement person, and he specializes in training, carbine training, pistol training, and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
But also we teach your concealed carry classes that are required by the state. We try to go next step further and hold those classes to a higher standard.
Yeah, and some people, I've been asked, is there any way to get just one-on-one training? I don't want to do a class thing because I don't know enough and I don't want to feel stupid. Which is, I always tell people, hey, trust me, not everybody in there is as smart as you may think they are. Okay, everybody's learning something, hopefully, when they come to a class. So don't feel bad if you don't know anything about guns whatsoever when you come to these classes, because the room is going to be filled with people probably just like you. Okay, and so if people are looking for some individual things, I mean, those would come at different. We can't get into all the different things about that, but something like that could even be available too, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm more than happy to do a one-on-one class with people. I've done them before, and I'll keep doing them. But to your point, where people are afraid to be in a room full of people that know everything. I love those classes because the people that feel like they know everything very quickly realize that they know very little. And so that's being humble and knowing that there is a lot of stuff out there that you don't know. Even me to this day, I'll learn something new every day.
Sure.
I try to find things that I can stump my guys with all the time. And so that's one of the fun things, is you don't know everything, and just being able to have that open dialogue with people is nice. And so the one-on-one situation makes that a lot more inviting.
Yep. So, Brandon, from your side of things, in the marketing side, what's the message you're trying to get out from the marketing side about LT Arms?
We're trying to get out that we're a hunting-specific shop, and also in the past year, like at the end of 2024, we launched our own rifle brand, Shikari, which is going to, in the grander picture of things, it's going to kind of become the parent company of LT Arms and become a much larger shop. But yeah, our rifle brand, we do custom rifle builds. We have 3 different levels. We do an entry level that's on a composite chassis, and then we do a mid-level that is built on a Wooks chassis that's kind of a combination of wood and metal, and then we do our high-end Safari build that is on a wood stock with everything on it is completely customized. We do.
Wow.
We have our own actions on the rifles and everything, so trying to get that out there to the world, that we actually make our own rifles and get them in front of people so they can see that stuff is one of our goals right now. But just getting the name out in general is a challenge, just because with firearms businesses, you can't advertise on Facebook, you can't advertise on Google. They offer you advertising credit, but as soon as you try to use it, you quickly realize that they don't want you to use it. So we have to get pretty creative with the marketing avenues and how we get our name out there and stuff like that. So that's why it's nice to be able to work with you guys and be featured on the show and get our name out that way. So
absolutely, man. We're super excited to have you. And once again, if you're just turning on the radio and tuning in, of course, you're listening to Sportsman of Colorado, but a new partnership for us, and we're super excited about it. It's LT Arms, 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. Their number is 720-727-0400. And they're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturdays 10 to 4. And gunsmithing available here, taxidermy available here. And just a great selection of firearms as well. So I don't know who wants to take this question, but now in this room we're actually recording in. I hear somebody say the library. Is this what you kind of call the library room? Yeah. All right, some cool firearms all hanging in here. And then in the middle room, so to speak, quite a few firearms in there. So whoever wants to take the question to kind of explain what's in that middle room there.
Yeah, so in that middle room, that's kind of our main showroom that we have. That's your modern era guns. That's our standard inventory. So we have everything from ammo, firearms, accessories, reloading components, cleaning equipment. Pretty much everything you would expect in a gun shop is in there. Now, this room that we're in, the library, that I kind of wanted a nice lounge area in my shop, and so that's kind of what we made this room out to be. Gotcha. We have nice high-end chairs, comfy chairs for people to come sit in. We have a refrigerator with soda pop in it, and we have old vintage firearms on the wall.
Yeah, there's some cool-looking stuff.
So that's one of the things that I really like, is I wanted a nice, warm, welcoming environment for people to come hang out in.
Mm-hmm. Now, consignment. There's some rifles consignment.
Correct.
You have? All right, so let's kind of talk about some of the things you offer, if it's buy, sell, trade, whatever. Get into some of that.
Yeah, so as far as consignment, we offer consignment because, more lately we've been having a lot of people that are inheriting firearms, and they just don't want to have to deal with all that and everything, and so they want to offer it up for consignment. It's a great option we offer for people. We'll appraise firearms for people as well. Okay. And just giving that consignment option gives them the chance to unload firearms so they can buy more. That's one of the nice things there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, hey, we're just kind of scratching the surface, so to speak, here today, but wanted to bring these guys to you. Again, it's LT Arms, 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. So, Kyle, if you're explaining to people how to get here, how do you tell them?
Yeah, we're off of Kipling and 470, the business King Carroll Park district. The post office is right across the street from us, so if they know where that's at in the King Carroll area, then we're right across the street, and come in and say hi. The nice part is we're friendly, and we'll welcome you in.
Yep. Hey, great knowledgeable staff, friendly folks, and hope you'll come over here. And when you do, let them know you heard them here on Sportsman of Colorado, and we'd appreciate that as well. But look, now's a great time to come in, see the gunsmith, get your guns looked at, make sure everything is good for the hunting season. Maybe even think about a new rifle. Hey, now's the time to do it. I'm telling you, with all the gun stuff going on right now, you don't know how all this is going to shake out. So if you've been looking at ARs, different things, you want to build one yourself, hey, you can do it all right here at LT Arms. And once again, they're located at 8119 Schaefer Parkway in Littleton. Once again, their phone number is 720-727-0400. And hey, we've got our text line as well. And I try to mention this every show, but if you ever have a question for our guest, and maybe you're listening, you can't call into the show, you can always send me a text at 720-201-8585, and we will try to get your question answered. Maybe you want to see a topic covered. Maybe it's reloading, and we'll spend some time with Evan on that. So just whatever your questions may be for any of our guests, any of our shows, you can use that text line, and we want to thank our attorney, Kevin Flesh, for sponsoring that text line for us. But once again, it's 720-201-8585. Well, guys, super excited about the partnership, and Kyle, we thank you, sir, for the opportunity to work with you guys, and looking forward to doing this for many years, man. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Brandon, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Evan?
You're welcome,
Good
sir.
job for an old man.
Thanks, sir.
You're listening to Sportsman of Colorado. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.